Hello, 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 hello again. I'm on my own again, so I'm hoping that you can see me and what I'm about to do. I'm going to be making a spicy Cajun chicken strip. And what I've learned is that I like to have the chicken breast be a little frozen, not quite thawed. So I just take a chicken breast and I like to clean it of all the fat, all the strings, as lean as possible, as clean as possible, and then I like to think I slice it differently. Okay, my chicken breast, and I like to do angle cuts. 45-degree angle cuts, and they're already washed and rinsed, so then I dust them in flour. I've got my oil heating as we speak, and hands are always thoroughly washed. I'm very conscious of cross-contamination, and I don't like to make them up ahead of time and all sit before they hit the fryer. It does something to the breading. It makes it lacking in the end. So it's always done in small quantities, small little batches. So one breast at a time. And then I have the well scrambled egg. I just throw plain egg, make it nice and whipped up, and I wanted to show what I put in my Cajun spice. I like to use yellow cornmeal instead of white because it's a prettier color in the end. This is a great Cajun Creole seasoning, and I stopped using white sugar and I use evaporated cane sugar. And what I have here is I don't measure. I like to think 1, 2, I like to just think about the volume and how much I'd like to season them. I start with some flour, yellow cornmeal, the Cajun seasoning, and some of the evaporated cane juice. And I mix that together. And it's more of the cornmeal than it is the flour. And I mix that thoroughly, and if I look and it's a little pale, I'll just add a little more of this red seasoning. This is the key to such a good flavor, and it's already a salty seasoning, so no need to add additional salt. And once that's well mixed, my oil is heating. I take my floured chicken, dip it in the egg yolk. Okay, small quantities and one at a time. And I like to press it in. Make sure, flip it, and I coat it and press and flip and press. And make sure that the breading, the cornmeal and the flour mixture is going to stick. Press it. I sometimes flip it over and press it with my fist, and then put it into the pan, and that looks like a good temperature. And the next one, it's cover and push and flip and cover. Gives it a really nice coating. This is all through trial and error, time and time again. Each time you'll learn a little quirk that you can improve on. And like I said, I like to have them done fresh. If you were to coat all of these and let them sit, they take on a different texture. It's all got to be done fresh and in the moment. So flip and press and flip. Press, and then drop it into the mix, and you have to keep in your mind which one went in first. And chicken does not take long to cook if they're cut thinly. And you overcook your chicken, you lose, just like fish, you lose your tenderness and your juiciness. And while the frying flavor might taste good, without the juice of the chicken, you really ruined it. So you don't want to overcook a chicken or a fish in any event. So flipping, punching, and pressing, and everything's done in small batches. There's just enough room in this pan for this big guy. I've already flipped one, the first one, now the second one, and the third and fourth won't be far behind, so you really have to keep up on the different things you're doing. It's multitasking at its finest. Alright, these are little so they can go in at the same time. I like to use my hands, as you can see, and flip and press. And when that first one's done, these two will be ready to go, not far behind. So I'll flip number 3. Nice light golden brown. And I'm going to go ahead and grab the camera so you can see closer. Alright, here we go. So my egg batter, the flour, the seasoning, and there we go. You can see number 1, number 2, and I just flipped number 3. So number 4 is in need of flipping. And number 1 should be almost done. So let me go ahead and put the camera back, and we're going to drain it onto the paper towel. I hope this is helping you, and I hope I have that camera angled right. Your guess is as good as mine. Okay, number 1 seems to be done already. And you can always drop the heat. Number 2 shouldn't be far behind. There's a little room for these little guys in the middle. Okay. This one looks done. So you see, if you cut them thin enough, they really don't have to cook that long. And that's the secret to a good chicken. That's juicy and tender. Okay, so then I would go to the next chicken breast and trim it up. It's half frozen. Just get the little bits of fat off and go ahead and cut in the 45-degree angle of fillets, almost like a medallion strip. You could call these chicken medallion strips. And then, alright, little guys, this one looks done. Little guys need flipping. And oil's waiting for these. So, into the egg, whoop, into the flour. It doesn't really matter too much if you miss the flour. It just makes more of the eggs stay on, but I move pretty quick with it. So my oil's getting hot. I can turn it down. It's all a matter of keeping up with everything, keeping everything even, Steven, you know, everything consistent. All right, got a nice, ready to go. Maybe turn the heat a little back up again. Okay, this one, if you forget the flour, it's definitely fine. There is flour in the cornmeal, and you're doing the pressing technique over and pressing that into it. So there's a generous amount, and then it's fresh, and you put that in there. All right, our little pieces should be done. See the momentum here? It's definitely a recognized momentum. And all right, there we go. Toss it, press it, toss it, press it. All right, there we go. And ready for another. Okay, check on how these are doing. See, once you got them in there, they're ready to go again. All right, and that's how we do that. Toss it in the flour. All right, and the egg yolk. And in the cornmeal. Coat it. Push it down. And flip it. And coat it. Push it down. There we go. That nice seasoning, Creole seasoning, a little bit of sugar to sweeten the cornmeal, a little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar and spices, and got a nice savory chicken. Okay. All right. Then we can do another layer of paper towel. Okay. And you want to make sure you don't use your raw utensils with any raw chicken on cooked chicken. You don't want your salmonella. I'll leave that one. Okay. Egg. We've got salmonella in eggs too, so when you're flipping your chicken, use a completely separate utensil. And flip, toss, press, flip, toss, press. Ready for the fryer, fresh. Alright, and your oil is going to get the residuals of the crumbs in there that will darken the strips as they cook. You can switch out the oil. So you see I do things in small batches, so it's not too much oil to have to discard. And I'm going to clean up. Thank you very much. Clean my hands. I like to use my hands just like when I paint. I like to get in there. I don't like much between me and the materials I'm working with. So, last of these are cooking. This one looks to be done. And this one looks like it can be flipped. And then we will have a plate that we can arrange these nicely on. Ready to go. Okay. All right. There we are. Here is fried chicken strips. Thank you. And this one is done. Last but not least. All right. Thank you very much.